All right, welcome to YouTube Backstage, where entrepreneurs growing on YouTube gather to dive deeper into the good and the bad of a lead-generating YouTube channel. It's where we take you behind the scenes of our channel. I'm Jerry Potter, that's Candy Harper, and today YouTube announced they're changing how views are counted, and yes, this will have an impact on entrepreneurs in a good way and a bad way. So it's been very confusing since the announcement.
Hey, it's not confusing at all. We're gonna change the way how view is counted.
We're gonna clear that up today, and I'm not even sure I'm fully clear yet, but I think we will be by the end of our discussion today.
I love changing the definition of the English language. Absolutely love it.
Also, we had you vote, viewers that were here a couple of weeks ago. You predicted which thumbnail would do better on one of my videos. We'll see which one came out. It was pretty interesting, and we're going to look at my worst retention video of the last year. One of my goals the next few months is to improve the watch time on my videos because I think it is one of the best ways for all of us to get better. And we actually have more control over it compared to some of the other things on YouTube. And then, of course, any questions you have around these topics, we can talk about at the end, anything that was left over. So that's what we're going to be jumping into today. So, all right, if you are here with us, we would love to know if you want to say hi in the chat. So Candy, you don't follow the YouTube news like I do because why would you if I'm going to filter it for you? But did you see anything about this week?
No, the only time I heard about it was when you told me, and I thought it was purposefully confusing. I think YouTube is doing it on purpose. I think they're doing it on purpose because there's a certain tactic that you will use in marketing to confuse people just enough so now they're interested again. So I think it's one of those things where, hey, we're changing how you see a view. So all of a sudden these people are like, well, wait a minute. If you're changing, what else do I have to change? Let me go on YouTube and figure out all this new strategy that I need. So I think it's purposefully confusing.
Okay. So part of me wants to just call you nuts and say you're a conspiracy theorist, but I think there might be something to some of that. Because I have a theory as well about why they're doing this. But part of the reason it's been so confusing is because people don't fully understand why, like what exactly is going on. So let's start
intentionally vague.
Yeah, let's start with what the announcement was. So first of all, this is not totally new because this announcement was made about shorts last year. I think it was like March of 2025. And now they're bringing the same way they're counting views to long form videos, podcasts, live streams like this, everything else. And so previously, a view was if somebody watched, like they had to click on your video and they had to watch a decent amount of it. We don't know how long that is. That's like that's intentionally vague, as you've
intentionally vague.
Yeah. So now somebody doesn't even have to click on your video and it could be a view. So
what?
Yeah.
What?
Here is how it is. This is how it is now. Okay. First, a view means they saw a single frame of your video. Okay. So videos have, 25 to 30 frames per second, depending on where they are in the world. And so now, you know how if you're on YouTube and you hover over a video, it'll kind of show you a little preview of it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a view.
No, it's not.
Counts as a view. Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. What information did I get from that little hover over? I got nothing. I got zero. I got nothing. That should not be a view. In my mind, it should be a view.
I agree.
In my humbly correct opinion, it should not be a view because I didn't retain any of that information that I could repeat later. I didn't make a micro action where I actually clicked on it. I hovered. What is this, Temu? I'm hovering, so now it's considered a view? No, I don't like it. Now I don't. You're
not going to like the next part either then.
No, now I have an opinion. Before I didn't have an opinion, but now I have an opinion. That's not a view.
So now we have another metric, and again, these have been on shorts for over a year, but it's called an engaged view. So what is now an engaged view is basically what we used to know as views, but apparently according to YouTube, and this is the part that's still a little vague, but an engaged view is if someone watches past that initial first frame, but they're not saying how long. So as I and many others understand it right now, if you hovered over and watched the 2 seconds of the video play for a few seconds, that might count as an engaged view. Again, this is where they're not sharing exactly what it is. But if somebody does click on your video, that is also considered an engaged view, even if they leave in the first couple of seconds. So basically now we have views and we have engaged views. A view literally just means a frame of the video. An engaged view means they watched whatever YouTube decides is a meaningful amount of it. And I can tell you right now, it's not what we as business owners would consider a meaningful amount because it could just be a couple of seconds. So, okay. If you have questions about this, I have more to share about it, but if you have questions about this, let us know in the comments, or you as well, Candy.
So, which is the most valuable for a companion content creator or an entertainment creator? And in your opinion, an engaged view or a view?
Oh, I think an engaged view is more valuable for anybody, no matter what. One of the things that YouTube said was they wanted to show the true value of the content that people were creating on YouTube. But the only way that makes sense is if somebody hovering over and watching the first 2 seconds or the most active 2 seconds of my video loop is valuable, which I don't think it is, right? Like if you're thinking about advertisers, sponsors, they're like, oh, are a bunch of people watching 2 seconds of your video loop without sound? I want to spend money with you. I want to advertise
they're
on
obviously
your channel.
buying. Right. Yeah. That's
for us getting clients. Oh, I want to work with you. Man, that 2 seconds without sound that I watched loop 5 times, mind-blowing.
When I saw your eyebrows move, I knew it. Here's 10 grand. I think but again, so that's me as the side of a consumer too. Like, what am I getting out of a second hover? I'm probably going, oh, here's a continuous talking head in that hover time, right? Like nothing has changed, right?
Yeah.
And then if I am an engaged view, I mean, I would guess that would be have to be past the 30-second mark because now I've invested time. My other psychological my psychiatry brain flips over to maybe the reason why they're doing this is because our attention spans and our BS detectors are changing faster than they ever have before with the amount of AI slop that we're consuming. So maybe it is like, oh, AI clickbait, not for me, I'm out, before I count it as an engaged view. So that sweet spot might be in between 20 to 30 seconds before your human brain recognizes this is where I'm going to stay for a minute or I'm out.
Well, as business owners, we need people to watch for a while, right? That's the beauty of YouTube is somebody watches 3 8-minute videos in a row and then they're like, oh my gosh, I have to work with you, in some examples. So there's good news and bad news though for business owners. So the good news is, not the good news. The thing we all need to be doing is helping people watch our videos longer, which is why we're going to look at retention on today's episode. But the good news for business owners, I think, and especially if you're in the early days, is your public view count will theoretically be higher than it was before because the public view count is still going to just be the views, meaning somebody hovered over your video. Now, before anyone thinks, oh, I'm just going to go to my channel and hover over all my videos, that's not going to, YouTube is obviously smarter than that. But so theoretically, your views will go higher. Now, everyone's are going to go up, okay? So that's not changing. But if you are an entrepreneur, and I know we all have this fear like, oh, somebody goes to my channel and they go, well, geez, their videos only get 30 views or 100 views or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, let's say it's 30 views and all of a sudden it's 100, then that looks better, right? So again, doesn't mean you're getting any more consumption of your videos, but social proof wise, it could be good. The downside.
Sorry, go ahead. Do the downside.
Okay. The downside. Well, no. Let's keep the loop open. You go ahead.
All I was going to say again, as YouTube, as being a company, I really hope they don't give this live a hit because I'm about to say this. As a company, if I work for YouTube, I am trying to get my creators on my platform as long as possible and to believe and drink the Kool-Aid. If I all of a sudden give them a metric that's going to appear as if they have more views, all of a sudden, who's energized to stay on my platform for longer and keep feeding me content? That would be my creators.
This is where I think you are on to something because one of the things they said was to put YouTube in line with the standard across other platforms. Now, to me, YouTube gets to set the standard, right? But the theory that I had is that if people are posting a video on
Mhm.
Instagram or Facebook and feeling like they got more views than they did on YouTube, then they stop publishing on YouTube and they go focus on those other ones.
Yep.
Um, I see this all the time within YouTube with shorts because I'll have a call with an entrepreneur and they'll say, yeah, but when I post a short, I am getting 500 views. So why would I make long form videos? And of course, there's lots of reasons for long form videos, the longevity, how much time somebody spends watching you compared to a short. Do they remember you 5 minutes later? You know, all those things. But shorts have had that ego boost for since last year where you're just
Mhm.
like, oh man, look at how big my numbers are. So
Excuse me. This is a family show, sir. Hey, get it together.
So basically what's happening is the view counts before this kicks in Monday, by the way, August 24th, 2026. If you're watching this in the future, videos from the view counts before that aren't going to change. We're not going to all of a sudden see it on the videos that already happened. But if you had a video that was published before, but then gets views after Monday, it'll have a combination of both because YouTube obviously already has the data on the old videos. But the biggest thing for business owners, and this is the downside, is you have to be like conscious that you're not getting overly excited about a meaningless metric. Now, I don't imagine anyone is going to have something where a video has 1,000 or 5,000 views and only 6 engaged views. Like the numbers are
Yeah.
going to be closer than that. But just be aware when you're measuring how you're doing, like take the social proof, but when you're measuring how you're doing, how your channel's performing, how to improve, look at the engaged views. Unfortunately, well, I should say fortunately, unfortunately, it's sort of buried in the analytics. You can't see it, at least right now, anywhere like sitting there on the dashboard. And so that's, again, another downside. But the upside is, again, the public number will be bigger. And I think that's good for all of us, especially if we're trying to look professional on YouTube. So,
Yeah, I think I don't want to say it's a vanity metric, but it almost is in the fashion world. If you're a woman, you probably understand this. There's vanity sizing. So if I go into a specific store for a specific brand, usually I'll try on like a 12 to 14 and I know that I'm in the right range. If I go into another brand, I know that I'm a size 10. I might shop at another brand because, oh, I'm pretty. I'm a size 10.
it's a
But
smaller number.
it's a smaller
So
number.
crazy.
So if you're talking about vanity metrics and YouTube actually coming out and saying in line with other platforms, that makes me believe they're like, hey, our platform has extreme value for you. We want you to focus your energy on our platform. So this is how we're doing it, as giving you a new metric that is actually a vanity metric.
They're borrowing from the fashion industry. I love it.
Well, there's vanity metrics in every industry, but that kind of makes more sense. And like you had said, that engaged view is more valuable, but that vanity view, oh, well, I'm calling it a vanity view, just named it. A vanity view, that is all of a sudden the thing that makes me go, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
look at me. I'm doing good.
All right, before we get to our thumbnail test, I want to show you just where you can see this number inside of YouTube Studio in just a second. But hello, Best USA Road Trips. Glad you are
Hi.
here. Let's see. Creative Cat Studio says, but why would we want the public view count when it's not a true metric if people are watching? It makes no sense that they would create two separate view metrics. Again, I think most of us are like, well, this seems silly, but at the same time, it's better for us to understand it than
Yeah.
just make
And
assumptions.
to your point, it's not redundant or reductive even. It's giving you it's the dopamine metric, people. It's giving you that I'm doing good, I'm going to stay here on YouTube versus I'm going to spend more time making shorts. I'm going to spend more time on TikTok. So, it's not that it's dumb on YouTube's part, but it is
Yeah.
actually trying to tell you like it's a big flag like here, stay here. Now you got a dopamine hit, keep going.
My newest video that I published yesterday morning is performing better than average, which I was excited about. And then I was like,
Mhm.
wait, is this that new fake sugar metric? And then I realized, oh no, it's not cooking until Monday. It's actually doing well.
It's
Okay,
actually doing
great.
great.
Yeah. Let's see. Diana says, the more expensive the clothesline, the smaller the size. Yes, good term, Candy. Vanity sizing. Love that. Kat says, haha, dopamine metric is spot on. There you go. Marketing That Fit says, I wonder if YouTube is going to be experimenting with providing longer previews during hover actions. That's a great point.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
looked at it. Yeah, I looked at it yesterday when we were prepping for today, and it looks like it's about 2 seconds, and it's not always the beginning, I noticed, of the video, it's
Yeah, because it's
usually,
boring.
well, it's sometimes the beginning is interesting, but it's usually at some point in the video, like if it's a talking head like this, where you did this, like it's usually where the most movement was, or something like that.
I
So
can't wait to see what it grabs from us because I am a hand talker and I move around a lot. So I know I look goofy like 99% of the time.
yeah,
So
yeah. Okay.
it's going to look ridiculous.
So inside of your analytics, on any, well, I guess we could do it for all of it. So let's go to analytics, and you see normally for analytics, you just see your overall stuff. But if you go into
Mhm.
advanced mode, this is what you have to do. And then down here under metrics, you can select engaged views. Okay. So then we hit apply. And now we can actually see engaged views versus views. Now, this is interesting because are they short? Well, these ones at the top are obviously long form videos. It's interesting that these numbers are different, even though YouTube says this isn't kicking in until Monday. But you can see just the slight differences here between the two numbers.
Already.
Oh,
Yeah.
that one's the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, there. So yeah. All right. Next up, thumbnail test results. So a couple weeks ago, if you were here, we asked you to vote on which thumbnail you thought would do better for an upcoming video. And it was interesting that just to see what people said. And then we took that and we published that video a couple weeks ago. We used YouTube's built-in A/B testing tool to see how it did. And so there were two that we want to show you. First was the one that we had you vote on. And if I remember correctly, the Waldo one was by far the standout one. Is that the
Yeah.
one most people voted for?
Yes. Read the title of the video first so people understand what the title of the video was.
I don't remember what the title.
It's on the top, that top thumbnail.
Oh, it is. Okay.
I
But I remember what
it
it was about. Yeah. So it was called YouTube SEO for Business, Get Found and Get Clients.
Yes. So get found was the theme that I was going for, obviously, with those two. And I think the Waldo get found was the number one choice originally. That was a red background. People had suggested more contrast. So I went with one of our blues. And so that's what it actually came out with. And we did add, like that YouTube button right there. And obviously, when we're doing YouTube Backstage every week, we're showing you how we're building this channel. So with these two thumbnails specifically, that the Waldo one got the most votes out of everybody because it was more of like a fun concept, I think is the reason why most people went that way.
But barely. And again,
Barely.
there's a lot of history left on this video. So yeah, the Waldo one had just over 52%, and the SEO on the beach was just under 48%. And in the YouTube results, it even said they both did well or something, something like that. So that was interesting. But we also had another video where the results were dramatically different. Okay, and so this video was about YouTube chapters, and actually, this is the biggest difference I've ever seen. This is about YouTube chapters. So if you add chapters, you have another chance, like one of the angles of the video is you have another chance to show up in search results because your chapter title can rank as well as your overall video title. And so I've gotten lots of views. A lot of times it'll come up in Google as a, what do they call it? It's not a recommended snippet, is it? The term escapes me, but sometimes, it'll just show you part of a video in the Google search results. So that's what happens. So these were the two concepts. One was win the YouTube lottery. I think I got this from an AI tool. Clearly, it looks kind of AI. And then this is one that Candy made of a baby with a YouTube pacifier
let me
and a Google blanket.
explain the concept here because it'll make more sense. So usually when you're talking about a video that has already been created and you're kind of like, this is the title that I want to go down this lane. Sometimes you can look at the video or like something that you created and you need like a refresher, look at the transcript and see. And one of the things that Jerry had said in this video specifically was about Google search and YouTube coming together. And so in my mind, it was like, well, if Google search and YouTube had a baby, this is what you would need to do is put in chapters. And so obviously
I didn't know that was your idea.
In my crazy banana brain, that's kind of like what had come out. And so I was thinking like, oh yeah, if Google search and YouTube had a baby, you would have to have chapters. And so the concept, I was actually going to go with a different title of the video. But when we were specifically talking about like the best optimization for somebody finding this video, that didn't match the artistic concept in the YouTube, the thumbnail that I was going for to make it work on YouTube. And then I said, screw it. I'm just going to do this picture anyway because it's amazing. And then the experimentation kind of kicked in where I am experimenting without using text on some really strong imagery. And that's why it worked for this one specifically, because that's still Jerry's face, obviously. That is not his baby body swaddled in a Google and YouTube swaddle blanket. But yet I created one to make it look that way. And I did second guess myself on, should we test this for A/B testing? Because it's so different. And there's no specific mention of, if Google search and YouTube had a baby, it would come up with chapters. But in my brain, it worked that way, and I did it anyway.
Well, and that's one of the great things about thumbnails is that it's a great place to open a curiosity loop. So I just looked it up. The title is How to Turn YouTube Chapters into More Views and Leads. So it's basically a YouTube chapters tutorial. And, in it, I talk about how basically you can win from Google and YouTube. And so I thought it was great. I like this experiment of trying to figure out, if we couldn't put words on the thumbnail, what would it look like? How can we show exactly what is going to be happening in this video if we did not decide, end up putting words on there? So anyway, so the results, the baby one was almost 90% of clicks to watch time compared to the bottom one. And part of the reason too that I've becoming more comfortable with letting Candy well, first of all, I always want to experiment, but I'm like, okay, go crazy. Let's see what happens, is because almost every thumbnail test I've ever run ends up with, 47% to 53%, or, 31, 33, and whatever, 29. And so that's where I think it's been fun to kind of experiment and play a little bit more with some of these other things like that. One thing that we should do that we're not doing is, my videos are a slow burn. Like, my videos that do well they rarely do well in the first week. And then then they'll go on to get tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views later. So what we should probably be doing is then going back to some of those videos that are taking off and then running another A/B test, because they're getting lots more impressions at that point. So
yeah, I think and this is what I'm doing now, and in our community, this is something that maybe could be a future training later, is I'm coming up with different ways to kind of put guardrails on the experimentation. Like, if it's this, it's this. If it's this, it's this. Just so you can go back to it and go, oh, the reason why I think this did well. I mean, and what we're seeing from YouTube as a platform and how they're competing against other platforms is the dopamine game. So it's like, if somebody sees a picture of you wrapped up in a white baby blanket and you're obviously an adult in a bassinet with a pacifier, they go, oh, okay, dude as a baby, little weird, but whatever. But then if they actually see it's a Google and YouTube logoed blanket and they recognize those logos right away, now they look at the title, and now I've already got them for 5 seconds of their attention. Maybe they would be more likely to click the actual video. And if that content delivers in the video, then they're like, oh, okay. And now they're staying for 30 seconds.
So go back to a second. You said, if this, it's this, and it's this and this, or this, or something. I don't know.
You didn't. You
used too few words and you lost me. Say it. So explain that.
I'm coming up with my own guardrails and rules for experimentation. So I actually can go back in a little bit more of a scientific way and say, oh, the reason why this, the example you just showed is the thumbnail of you in a bassinet with specific logoed stuff on. The reason why it worked. Why did it work? Was it the title? No, because the title was the same on the other one. It was the picture. Okay, so the thumbnail is the reason why it worked. Well, what was it about the picture that worked? An adult male as a baby, okay. But then you see the swaddle blanket. YouTube logo is recognizable. Google logo is recognizable. I put another logo in your mouth. So now I didn't put any text on it, though. So now somebody is looking at the title to get the information of why this adult male is wrapped up as a baby. So
theoretically.
And I'm trying to, if the thumbnail without text wouldn't be at that level of like, what is happening here, then it's not worth doing. That's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what that system is to really pinpoint how to work that A/B testing as fast and quickly as possible to get high ROE, return on effort.
Yeah. I would love to know in the comments, and whether you're here live or later, would you consider making a thumbnail that doesn't have any words on it? Because that's, again, kind of what we're playing with right now. And we're doing one without words and one with words and just kind of seeing, where it goes. But, or if you have questions around that, let us know. But let's talk about retention, because obviously the thumbnail, the title get the click, and then we have to keep them. And, I really am trying to intentionally spend extra time. I should take that back because I have not been doing it. I want to start spending extra time.
You're so honest. Do I just say it? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I'm totally doing it.
Again, good and the bad on YouTube Backstage, right? I want to start spending extra time the next few months really focusing on retention. And one of the best ways to get more views on our videos that we actually have control over is getting people to watch longer. So I decided that today we would look at my worst performing retention video of the year. Yay! And it's this one right here. It's called How to Turn Your YouTube Videos into Shorts on a Computer. So it came out about 6 months ago. It's approaching 8,000 views. And if we look at the analytics here, the retention is 16%. Okay. Are we on Sense Published? Yeah, 16%. Yeah. Okay. And, if you look at the retention graph here, the drop is everywhere.
It's a nice ski slope. That's a little bit bigger than a bunny slope.
Yes. Yes.
That's how I like to look at graphs. Is it bigger than a bunny slope? You should be worried.
Yeah. So when it's spread out, I don't think it looks quite so severe.
No,
but the biggest thing with this, and one thing that I have found, I have been setting my retention a little bit more and using AI to help. But one of the things that I've found is that I do often lose a lot of people in the beginning. All videos do, right? But once people get to a certain point, they stay. If they get almost, I don't know the exact number, but let's say if they get to the 60-second mark, then it's the drop off is relatively minimal the rest of the video. This video is not the case, right? Like you could, to use the bunny slope, you can ski down this hill. And that's not what we want, right? We want, if we're going to go with the snow analogy, we want the one where if you're on your snowboard, you're like, you have to push yourself forward to move. And it is not what we had with this video at all. So this is a 10.5-minute video, and the average view duration is 1:40. Not great, okay? So, but the other thing that's interesting about this video in particular, I'm going to go back to the other view for a second because I think we can see better, is you can see this huge plummet here, and 25 seconds in, 42% of the people are gone. And then all of a sudden, back up here, 70% are watching at the 44-second mark. So
wait. So intro, down, and then they come back, or what? How would they do that?
Well, there's some different ways, but the most common way, and I'm sure that's the case for this video, is each of these dotted lines is one of the chapters in my video.
I see. Okay.
And so that meant they either went and jumped to the next chapter, or YouTube sometimes will have a thing pop up, or you can double tap on a mobile device and it'll jump ahead. And sometimes it jumps ahead a certain number of seconds. Sometimes it'll actually jump to the next chapter. So that's what happened, is whatever I was doing here, they decided to come back. So that was kind of what was interesting. So I thought I'd play the first 30 or so seconds. We're not going to watch the whole video, obviously, but I thought I'd play the first 30 seconds or so, and then I would love to have people analyze exactly why people shut the video off. So let me go back over to this view.
I love that still photo, though. That's a perfect one that you have right there.
The freeze frames are always good. I have very good freeze frames, right? All right, so let me play this, and let's see. Can I do this so that, there we go. That's better. Here we go. This is the first 30 or so seconds of this video. So when I made this video about how to turn your YouTube videos into, you can hear it? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So when I made this video about how to turn your YouTube videos into shorts, some people loved it and a lot of people got mad because they couldn't do it on their computer. Lots of comments like this one that said, I work on a desktop and I'm treated like I don't exist. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through step by step how to take your long form YouTube videos and cut them into shorts really, really quickly and easily, including how to do it if you know exactly what part of the video you want to turn into a short, or if you want AI to go in and find the clips that are most likely to do well. Plus, watch until the end if you want to see how to take the shorts that you're going to make and turn them into more views on all your videos on your YouTube channel. So to start, let's assume you already have a chunk of your long form YouTube video. All right, so about 36 seconds for me to get into the content. I'm mostly now trying to shoot for 20, and I'm really trying to see if I can get it lower than that. When I work with clients, I tell them 20 most of the time. 20 is hard. Most of the time, it ends up, closer to 30. And sometimes if I'm analyzing somebody's video, I'm like, if it's under 30, I'm not too mad about that. But yeah, so I would love to know, there's 3 things I'm going to fix on this video to improve the retention the next time I make a video. But I would love to know in the comments right now, and obviously we can start with you, Candy, exactly what do you think lost people in that video? Why was there such a big plummet? And I'll say, sometimes the comments on videos, are like, get to the point, and I'm like, sometimes people get really mad. And I don't think that was this video, but it's almost like I'm out to get them by giving the video context, and it's really tough to balance because I want the people to understand here's what's happening, and I wasn't like, ooh, let me trick them into watching longer by listing a bunch of things I'm going to cover, because I know that doesn't work in 2026, but I was literally trying to set up the video. And so it's tough to balance just, trying to get them to watch longer, giving them what they want, but also making sure, because if somebody gets 30 seconds in and they don't have the context, they're gone as well. So.
Okay, so 2 things with this particular style of video, in my opinion. First, read the title out loud of the video.
How to turn your YouTube videos into shorts, parentheses, on a computer, because I love exclamation points.
On a computer. So because that title is a specific question, people expect immediate gratification in the answer. So because it took you 30 seconds to get to it, they just skipped ahead to the answer because they knew the answer was coming because your title was a question. In my opinion, that's the way that those specific titling structures work. The second part of it, I think, is that video was really good because you gave additional value to the question that you were answering that somebody will find beneficial if they actually take advantage of it, but you front loaded it. So you're giving them preview of what you're going to show them rather than letting them discover that in the rest of the 10-minute video, which they probably would have enjoyed, and that would have been retention keepers as they were going along. So maybe instead of showing it, you show one thing and say, and there's 2 other things coming up that you'll also like because this will help you, da-da-da-da-da. And then you get right into it.
Yeah.
So I think those are the 2 strategies of the showing too much up front versus saying it. There's a balance there, probably. I don't know. You've done that part probably more than I have.
Yeah.
But then I also like the idea of if it is a question in the title, if that answer doesn't come immediately, people are super impatient about it. And that's just based on the use cases.
I agree. Best USA Road Trip says, I've been cutting a bunch to get into it sooner. And that's a great reminder too, is that you don't have to, once you record, you can still cut stuff out. That's something that I've started doing pretty aggressively last year, is I'll write an opening hook or use our app to write an opening hook that I think is really strong. But then if I'm editing, I'm literally looking at the clock. I'm like, oh, geez, 31 seconds. And when I got to the content, I gotta, this doesn't need to be there. This doesn't need to be there. This doesn't need to be there. So, but I think you're right. When you're answering a question, the faster you can give them the answer, the better. And some of that context I could probably have sprinkled throughout the video instead of getting it at the beginning. And one thing I'm learning about myself in this moment right now is as I think back to what I said in that video, and again, I made it 6 months ago, I wasn't just trying to billboard, here's what's coming up in the video. I was also trying to let people know what was in the video so that they in some ways, they didn't stay if it wasn't what they wanted. So
Oh, that's very courteous of you and unnecessary. But you are super nice like that. You could actually look at it in whatever lens you want, really. Like, I was billboarding, so they were like, "Ooh, that's interesting. I'm gonna stay for that." Or I was billboarding, so then somebody would go, "Oh, this does have a lot of value. I'll stay for that." If like it's a lot more than what they actually would need. But because that title was a question, you didn't have the answer right away.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it depends on which lens you're looking at it. If the title was different, then maybe the retention would have been longer and you wouldn't have to change that any at all.
Yeah. So with this specifically, I think I specifically said I'm going to show you how to turn your YouTube videos into shorts if you know what the clips are, or if you want to have AI find the clips. But something I'm kind of thinking about now is it's like maybe those are separate videos. Maybe
There's no
that.
or.
Well, sometimes sometimes I think I fall into, oh, I could show them this, I could show them this, I could show them this, and
Of
I
course you
don't
do,
think
because
it's.
you're a helpful person by your personality.
I'm a recovering people pleaser. But I don't think it's, like, I don't think it's necessarily a length thing. I have videos that are 25 minutes that have really good retention. And then I have videos that are, 4 and 5 minutes that do really, really well too. So that's something I'm kind of thinking about there. So, all right. Well, 3 things that I'm going to fix. One, as Candy pointed out, cut the preview. Like literally jump into the demo much, much faster. And it might be interesting to go back. I'll have to think about it and see what I would be cutting out because it is a sponsored video. But
Mm.
go back and literally use the YouTube editor and just take it out and see how it looks and how it feels. So I might do that after we are done today because this video is still getting views. It's still
Yeah.
filling a need. I'm actually making a new video on about the same topic, and so yeah, I'll have to think about that, whether it's worth doing something to this one or making a new one. So that's one. Number two is, and this is something I'm already doing in all of my videos now, I just wasn't doing it then, is adding on-screen chapters. So this is a little bit more work, but I think it can really make a big difference. So if I'm going to pull up, this is the video I released this morning, but not only having chapters down in the description, but also chapters here. Now, the actually, now that I look at it, these aren't the best chapters because normally what I try and do is I have them, be a little bit more of a hook, like so they're rehooking people over and over again.
Mhm.
But I do think psychologically there's something where it's like, hey, there's 5 parts and you've only seen 3. It's like, oh well, if assuming they're enjoying it, they want to see the other 2 parts. And I think what I did in this video very clearly is I didn't rehook people because it was a tutorial, and I just kept, going. So I mean,
Moving.
look at this. Gosh, this is bad. We're already down to, 13% and the video's not even half over.
But this is the
So,
point of YouTube Backstage, though, is going through this because other business owners that are using YouTube to constantly market, their business need to understand that while these videos are living for years and years and years, that retention is really important.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
if and one thing that you were talking about is rehooking the viewer on that specific video. I think we're seeing now more than ever that inclusionary tactic of using actual text, because more people are watching muted, more people are not, like, more people don't have the sound on. So if they see something familiar, your face, and you're talking about YouTube, and they see text, oh, that is this thing, then maybe that is another way to, like, capture their attention.
yeah,
So it's not
yeah,
just movement anymore, it's not B-roll anymore, but it's using the text and the actual video together.
yeah. Speaking of rehooking, I want to give you another way to improve your retention, especially if you're not getting enough views for the retention graph to mean anything yet. In just a second. So number one, jump into the demo quickly. And I think this, hopefully I'll remember this or write it down, but I just need to, like, if it is, I like the way you put it, Candy. If it's answering a question, the question better get answered really, really quick, or start getting answered anyway, and put
Mhm.
the other context later. Number two is on-screen chapters. And number three is, and this is more for videos overall, I have to work ahead. So it's really hard to scrutinize a video when you're finishing it the day before it goes up. Or the one I published yesterday was supposed to go out on Monday and I didn't finish it. And I actually finished it yesterday morning. So I was literally finishing it the morning it was supposed to be published, actually a couple of hours later than when I would have preferred to publish it.
That's common. Life happens. Life happens to everybody. And we're also talking about business owners. They're still running a business.
Yes. Yeah. But this is where I don't want, you don't want to be scrutinizing it the day before it's due. It's just not good for your mental health. And there's only so much you can do at that point. So, because at that point you're like, I just want to get it out there. And so, and again, if you're in the beginning, you're trying to build up consistency, like I know some people are, then this is probably not for you. Like, yes, build up consistency, get your stuff out there. But I'm not at that point, right? Clearly, I'm still struggling with consistency sometimes as life happens, but I'm clearly at the point where I can be planning much further ahead. And so an easy trick that you can do is to simply take your transcript after you've recorded your video. And so basically the way that you would do this would be that you would go in and do your first pass of edits, like remove the mistakes. And then like I use Descript, I would export the transcript and then put it in ChatGPT, Claude, whatever, and basically ask it to analyze it for retention. I don't think you have to have a special prompt or anything like that. You would just tell them, who's your audience, what the video is about, and where am I likely to lose people? And the models are smart enough to give you some tips. Now, I will say one thing that I usually add when I am doing this is I will say, I am not looking to cut a sentence here or there. I am asking if there is an entire chunk that maybe doesn't matter. And that is much easier to fix than trying to literally nitpick every little sentence or anything like that. So that's the thing I like to add. Yeah. And then you can just go in and you go, oh my gosh, you're right. I didn't even need this whole segment. This didn't matter there. And you have to, be ready to let go of it, right? Assuming it still makes sense overall. So, but that's a great trick that any of us can do ahead of time. So that's something.
Would there be value in doing that after the fact? Like, let's say we go through our dashboard and we're looking at certain videos and we're like, that one tanked. Why? I don't know why it did, but it did. And then could you take that transcript, run it through whichever AI you want, and then say, where did I lose? Like, where's the part that I lost them? And it could identify a chunk you could cut out.
Yeah, you could do that. I would use the YouTube retention data though, more than what AI is guessing, simply because AI is, it is guessing, right? No matter how smart it is. And YouTube is using actual data. Although that's an interesting thing is YouTube has Ask Studio built in. And so I wonder if we could ask it,
Show your screen. Share your screen.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Go faster. Look, dopamine. It's not happening fast enough for me. What is going on?
I appreciate whoa, what?
That's a very big.
Yeah. What happened here? Did I,
you zoomed in a lot, like a lot. But you are using Roboto font. So
yeah,
we all know that now.
I don't know what, is that the wrong screen? There we go. Okay.
All right. So we're talking about retention after the fact. Either you created a video, you see it up, maybe you come back to it a couple weeks later and you're like, ew, that one tanked. Could you do Ask Studio? All right, go ahead. You show everybody Ask Studio.
Yeah. So Ask Studio is just built in to YouTube Studio. Everybody has it now. Sometimes you just see the little star and sometimes it'll say Ask Studio. I think it says that because it's open. And this plus sign, you can't attach files or anything like that, but this plus sign, you can select one of your videos. I've found that sometimes, even if I have the video open in YouTube Studio, it doesn't know that it's that video. So I just added it here for context. Tell me how to improve my watch time on this video. So we'll see what it says. I sometimes encourage Ask Studio. It's great if you're asking it a question that you can verify the answer to. It's not great if you're just looking for general advice, because I correct it all the time and it does that AI thing where it goes, oh, you're right. You're right to push back on that. Yeah.
You're right to push
You're
back on that.
you're
Blah.
right to push back on that. So, but if you are trying to just look at your analytics, for example, instead of having to pull up that big, advanced screen, you can just go in and ask it things about your analytics,
We
which I
should do
think
a
is
whole
helpful.
episode on Ask Studio, I
You
think.
just you think people are going to watch us just talk to a chat bot?
No, I think we should do an entire ROE episode on Ask Studios. So this is my new thing with AI. Sorry, little side quest. Follow me on this. When we're using AI so much in different aspects of our business, it's really easy for project creep to come fast and furious, and we don't realize it's happening
Yeah.
because the AI platforms are now designed to keep you on them longer because they want you to continue to pay for the bigger plan, the upgrade plan, use more credits. So, what they'll continue to do is ask you further questions of additional projects you can do based on the project you were already trying to finish. So, it'll say, do you want me to do that now? Oh, you know what you should do? You should also do this. Do you want to do that right now? Like you're already
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Right? So if we could go into YouTube Studio and do Ask Studio and say, here are the 3 things you should be doing in Ask Studio, and that's it, and help people really limit what the highest return on effort is within that program, I think
Mhm.
that's really helpful.
Okay. I'm gonna have to experiment some because I like when I use it. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's it's a mess. So,
Yeah, but
like,
also you're more advanced and you can know like, hey, thanks for this AI slop. It doesn't help me at all. Could have done it myself. But like you could at least we could at least do that, I think.
it's not slop that I'm getting because I'm just asking it questions.
Mhm.
It's just bad advice sometimes, and sometimes it
Right.
doesn't have the context, for
Because it
example.
doesn't
So
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, the video is performing above
Oh.
typical in terms of views and watch time. The average view duration, 16%, is significantly low. What's working well? Yeah, who cares? All right. Between 1 and 105, there's a segment of manual scrolling and searching for false belief number 2. Okay, this was something I did notice when I was watching it, which was sometimes I was just, oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on, let me find this here. And this is something else I kind of struggle with. Like, do I want to because I don't know. Sometimes when I'm watching someone like in a tutorial like that, I almost feel like a little bit more connection. Like, oh, okay, cool. And sometimes it's good to know when you clicked on the wrong thing, right? If you're trying to follow along for a screen recording tutorial. Number 2, during the create clips demonstration, the menu options and settings are small on the screen.
Oh.
Interesting.
Mhm. Okay.
That's one of those things that really it's more work when I edit into script to kind of, digitally zoom in. And I try and do that a lot. Maybe I didn't in this one. Well, I can see in this thumbnail, I am zoomed in, but maybe it is still small. I don't think there's a way to do a screen tutorial that's going to look good on a mobile phone. If you're showing a
No.
desktop program, you would have to zoom
No.
so far on everything.
Unless
And
it's
at that
one
point,
thing and then it's like super zoomed in on the one thing.
yeah, yeah. And then strategic bridge statements, transitions between troubleshooting and the actual tutorial. See a drop because viewers feel the problem has been stated and they might leave before the process begins. Okay. And synced end screen delivery. You direct viewers to a video on the screen. There's a 2-second delay between your gesture and the element appearing. I don't
Oh,
think
2
that.
seconds. How dare you?
I don't know if that's true, but I don't think that's what killed this video.
No, especially that's
At,
the end screen. It's
yeah,
not the end screen doesn't kill any video, people.
at
No.
10:10 on a 1024 video.
Yeah,
I don't
unless you're
know if
kicking
that.
a puppy on the end screen's not doing you damage.
Yes, yes. All right. Hey, thank you so much for being here for YouTube Backstage. If you have questions, if you're watching the replay, please let us know. Leave your questions and comments in the comments as well. I come back and I make sure and I read all of those too. And Diana says, yes, she would like to see an Ask Studio episode of
Oh,
YouTube Backstage.
yeah.
So you get to start experimenting, Candy.
Sweet. Done.
All right. Thank you so much
Done.
for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, y'all.